Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? NBA YouTube. It's your man, 100 grand. Ross with the Rock Never Stops. Coming to you with another episode of NBA Talk. Today, the Atlanta Hawks may have finally figured out what's going wrong down in the ATL. If you like this video, smash that like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Yo, this game against the Cleveland Cavaliers was telling. It wasn't going to be an easy game. Cleveland, of course, has been on a tear throughout the NBA, let alone the Eastern Conference. Whereas the Atlanta Hawks have been uh, kind of trying to figure things out, which is ironic because they seem to have really caught on to something last season. And I thought the return of DeAndre Hunter was really going to turn them around and really propel them back into the playoff picture of the Eastern Conference. But they've continued to stumble for some reason. And it's been a real weird situation. Like, what's going on in Atlanta? But then I watched the game and it dawns on me. The Atlanta Hawks don't have enough offense. And it isn't so much they don't have enough offense on the team, it's that they don't have enough offense in that starting lineup. The reality is, John Collins, I don't think he fits any longer with this team. It's not that he's not a really good player, he's an excellent player, excellent player. But I believe he settled in too much into being a role player than he has being a star. And it's that jump within a level of confidence and assertiveness and consistency to say, I'm going to get you 20 points a game no matter what. I'm not Miles Turner. I'm Demontis Sabonis, right? It's, I'm not the guy who's kind of a good utility guy, great glue player, someone who can do the dirty work, make the tough plays, get on the loose balls, box outs, good screens, all those things that are a part of winning. Grant you, definitely a part of winning. And yet, that's not what this team needs because they got that in guys like DeAndre Hunter, Clint Capella, Onyeka Kongwu, DeLon Wright. These guys do the hustle plays. And this team doesn't need a 24, $25 million a year hustle player, star hustle player. They don't need that. Now some teams do. Some teams need that guy who's just out there to say, "Hey, I'm going to make all the great plays." Um, Almost like a Bam out of bio, and I'm going to do a video on that after this because this Miami versus Dallas game was telling in that regard. But it's to say that there's too many times I see John Collins with single points at the end of a game, and he's played 30 plus minutes. There's too many times I see him not so much passive, but not even looking for a shot, just looking to kind of facilitate offense through handoffs and pick and rolls and pick and pops and waiting for the ball to get swung to him. I guess you could call it a degree of passivity, but I would say it's a lack of confidence in what he can be. Because when I saw him at Wake Forest, I saw a 6'10" power forward who had the physical and skill abilities to be an all-star level player, similar to DeAndre Ayton. It's almost like they've settled into doing something really, really well, even great, and they're timid to try something else that they may have struggled a little bit in, but to try to be great at that too. And the reality is, for some of them, it works. DeAndre Ayton is still probably a max salary player. Don't get me wrong. John Collins deserves his contract every bit, but that's not what this team needs. What they needed was Danilo Gallinari's aggressive offense in that starting lineup. Someone who in the front court is actively looking to get buckets, to hit open shots, to take shots. Who's saying, "Give me the ball, swing it over here. I've got it. And you saw the difference in this game today, even against a strong Cleveland Cavaliers defense. Danilo Gallinari's presence in that starting lineup and his ability to stretch the floor and to attack the defense really opened things up for the rest of the team. DeAndre Hunter, even as excellent of a scorer he is looking more like a number three option on a championship team, on a deep run playoff contending team. And so what you need then is a number two, somebody who is going to go for the goal, somebody who's going to actively try to score 25 a night on the offensive end. Now, granted, you would want this person to also play defense too, but you've got Clint Capella, you've got DeAndre Hunter, you've got other guys who can put in this work. And so I'm going to look at the next few games. I was trying to look up what the injury is for John Collins because he was on the sidelines. But the next few games, if John Collins is out 2, 3, 4 games, and Danilo Gallinari comes in and plays excellent, and they start winning those games, and the offense looks like it's running smoother, Nate McMillan is going to have a hard decision to make. He's going to have a tough time figuring out how does he reinsert John Collins into this starting lineup with his salary that's warranted starting, but may not fit any longer. And these are the decisions that great coaches have to figure out how to make. These are the decisions that really propel teams to say, this is who we are and this is what works. And right now, when you look at this team, if John Collins is not able or willing to, and I don't even know at this point if it's something that he can figure out how to do as much as it simply is, maybe it's just not who he is. But if he can't become somebody who they can rely upon for 20 a night, you might have to move him to the bench. And that's a hell of a move to make for a player of his salary and of his caliber. But the way Onyeka Okongwu is playing off the bench and Clint Capella plays next to a more offensive minded forward, it works better with what they have than trying to start John Collins. And so I want to know what y'all think. Do you think John Collins needs to come off the bench? Do you think he has it in him to kind of become more of an offensive minded player and do what Danilo Gallinari is starting to do? Because the reality is Gallinari, is making what over 20 million a year, but he's also 34 years old. This is not exactly the forward of the future. Now, maybe they make a deal, trade for John Collins for somebody like Laurie Markkinen, who's making money. Um, Maybe they look to send him out someplace else, like for Doug McDermott or something like that. But they need a forward who can literally shoot, maybe even a TJ Warren in Indiana. I don't know. I don't know. But it's to say, do you think he works any longer with this Hawks team? He's been kind of diminishing ever since he reached that 20-9, 20-10 type season. Each year he's kind of gone down in his production. And after a while, it's kind of like, nah, this is on you, bruh. This is on you. Either you want to be the guy, either you want to be the man who says, hey, I may not be Trey Young, but damn it, I'm still an all-star. I could still do DeMontis Sabonis work. I could still get you 20 plus a game. Or he's the guy saying, hey, I'm a key piece in a well-oiled machine. And maybe my piece doesn't fit here any longer, but I'm still worth a lot to somebody. So let me know what y'all think. Let me know in the chat. I always respond to the comments. But I appreciate y'all sticking with me. Feel free to check out the Twitter. Um, the Rock Never Stops 22. Uh, and if you like this video, smash that like button, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. And this was fun, y'all. I'm out.